How do you know if you've been traumatized or not? Let's look into this. Hello, I am Nicoleta Porojanu. I'm a survivor of childhood trauma myself, and I'm very curious to understand and heal what I like to call this global pandemic of psychological trauma. How do we know if we've been traumatized? Is this question even pertinent? I feel it is because some of us fully repressed our past painful experiences. We completely block them. We push them down. And it's not us doing it consciously from a place of awareness. It's our nervous autonomic system, which is trying to help us. It's trying to protect us from sometimes unbearable pain. And whilst some of us can't remember anything from the pain of the past, others remember too much. They fully remember everything, even the slightest details, like it happened yesterday. Which one is better? To remember nothing from the pain of the past or to remember everything? And what makes the difference between those that remember and those that don't remember? These are very complex questions, and I'll keep them for separate videos. For now, let's just say that whether you remember nothing from the past and you feel like you've never been exposed to trauma, or you remember everything and you live with that suffering inside of you, a trauma screening questionnaire can help you reach some clarity around the possibility of having been traumatized and the severity and the extent of that trauma. Because our human mind is such a wonderful creation, which we are still working to decipher and understand. And while you can remember if a parent, caregiver, or another person verbally abused you, if they insulted you, if they put you down, if they humiliated you in public or in private, you might not necessarily recall if a parent, a caregiver, or another person showed you disrespect, criticism, if they deprived you from autonomy and independence by constantly breaching your boundaries and your privacy. You probably remember if a parent, a caregiver, or another person physically hurt you, if they hit you, if they pushed you, if they grabbed you, if they slapped you, if they threw something at you. But you might have blocked that memory of a parent, a caregiver, or another person that touched you, that maybe fondled with you in a sexual way. Maybe you remember a time when no one came to pick you up from school, for example, or if there was no one to mind you one day and you were alone, or there was no one to protect you when you were bullied. But you probably forgotten or missed to notice that at a very young age, you did not have enough food to eat, that you did not have clean clothes to wear, or you lacked essentials for life, including toys or sweets. Most likely you remember if your parents or caregivers were drinking alcohol or taking drugs, but maybe you need a bit more time to confront the painful reality that no one in your family considered you important, that they did not observe you, they did not care about your needs, your wishes, and your desires. Perhaps you remember that your parents, your caregivers put extreme pressure on you on academic performance, on your grades at school, or how you performed in social activities. But you might have missed to become aware that they discriminated between you and your siblings, or maybe they praised another child and they never praised you. Clearly, you would remember if you lost a parent or a grandparent or significant other person to death. But it will take a while to realize that you felt abandoned by a very significant figure in your life. You would remember if your parents or caregivers separated or divorced, but you may have not noticed that your parents or caregivers struggled with betrayal, with cheating, which eventually led to a lot of moving, to a lot of displacement, and some disruption in your life. Clearly, you would remember if you witnessed domestic abuse within the family environment, but you could have missed that maybe a parent, a caregiver, or a significant other had been struggling with low or unstable mood, with a lot of anxiety, and a lot of unpleasant internal feelings. or if they suffered with another mental illness. You would know if a parent, a caregiver, or a significant other person attempted or completed suicide. But you might have failed to observe the impact of the social inequality or of the subtle prejudice or the potential discrimination against you if you lived in a disadvantaged area where people lived kind of the same lives. What I've just done over the past couple of minutes, I briefly introduced you to my trauma screening questionnaire, which is designed to help you assess if you've been traumatized in the first place, and if you have, if you suffered acute, chronic, or very complex trauma. It takes only a few minutes to complete this questionnaire. And if you are ready for this self-inquiry, you can download it for free on the link below or get it from my website on my homepage at nicoletaporoșanu.com. If you are really truly ready to start your proper trauma work, then go and complete this trauma screening questionnaire. And why not come back here and let me know your thoughts afterwards.